Channel 13 at 11 a.m. My name is Sarah Hurley.
And my name is Nick Wall, and we bring you the latest in news. In global news, our first story is the United States becoming the first economy in the world to be #1 this year. The World Economic Forum released its global report that included factors such as workforce diversity, press freedom, and labor rights, and disruptive business. Sweden followed the US, being labeled second alongside with Germany that was labeled third. However, the WEF warns that the governments are not prepared for a fourth industrial revolution and need to put their focus towards people and institutions in order to have successful technology.
It really seems that the US is doing great industrially, but we aren't the only ones. North and South Korea have agreed to rebuild the connection between railroads that were destroyed 60 years ago in the Korean War. Delegates met from both Koreas to plan for the transportation connection to meet and establish the broad demands made by the presidents, Moon Jae-in and Kim Jong-un. Joint inspections of the railroads will start this month, and a groundbreaking ceremony for the transportation project will be held towards the end of November.
Wow, it is so amazing to hear that Korea is doing so well despite all their indifferences. All right, now let's move to the forecast with Jack Taylor.
I'm Jack Taylor, and I'll be giving a 7-day forecast for Sacramento. For weather, we're going to spice things up with a little bit with the sweatshirt scale, meaning if it's breezier or a rainier day, we'll make sure to wear a sweatshirt. Otherwise, it'll be lower on the sweatshirt scale. On Monday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 79 and a low of 49. Boring weather for a boring day. What can you say? On Tuesday, however, there will be a 30% chance of rain with a high of 72 and a low of 50. I'd say definitely wear a sweatshirt that day, being that it'll be rainy with a chance of that. So 4 out of 5 on the sweatshirt scale. On Wednesday, it'll be going back to being partly cloudy with a high of 74 and a low of 53. Nothing too major. So 1 out of 5 on the sweatshirt scale. On Thursday, be ready to embrace the sun on a sunny day with a high of 78 and a low of 53. Sunny day with a low breeze. I'd say 1 out of 5 on the sweatshirt scale. On Friday, however, it'll be mostly sunny with a high of 79 and a low of 51. But there will be a breeze coming at 10 miles per hour in the south. I'd say wear something cozy to embrace the nice weather. To kick things off for the weekend, on Saturday, the skies will clear up for a beautiful sunny day with a high of 81 and a low of 52. Since many of y'all won't even go outside on that day, don't even bother wearing a sweatshirt unless you want to go outside, but otherwise, stay cozy inside. On Sunday, it will be a high of 80 and a low of 52, being mostly sunny. Same thing, most of you guys won't even go outside that day. So I say, the scale's not even valid. That's it for weather. Let's go to Joe for entertainment.
Hi, I'm Joe Maddock, and I'm going to be giving you today's movie news. At the top of the box office today is A Star is Born, grossing $3.9 million yesterday. Right behind it is Venom, which grossed $3.7. And finally, the movie First Man's income was $1.7 million. In the next couple months, many more movies are expected to top these ones in the box office, such as Life and Nothing More, The Dark, and Burning, which are all expected to be great movies. Also, Disney announced that the new Aladdin movie will be releasing in 2019 and gave a teaser trailer to promote it. Disney fans are really excited about this because Disney was a big part of a lot of people's childhood, and people loved all the old movies and are excited to see the revamps. Alright, Nick, back to you.
Thanks, Joe. We all remember the sports doctor Larry Nassar case back in 2017 where he abused over 150 young women. Well, today, Steve Penny, the former president of USA Gymnastics, has been arrested for tampering with evidence related to the Nassar case and investigation. The documents were allegedly sent to the USA Gymnastics headquarters where Penny either hid or destroyed them, and these documents have still not been recovered. The Texas Rangers and Walker County Sheriff Office stated that the documents were a material that would have assisted in the investigation of other offenses. Penny is awaiting extradition, and if convicted, will face 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Sarah, that's so awful to hear. Now, let's move to our sports expert, Joe Maddock.
The NBA season has just begun, and the reigning NBA champions secured their win on the first game of the season against the Thunder. They won 108-100, and their success was largely due to Steph Curry, nearly getting a triple-double and racking up 32 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds.
Curry for three. Bang!
Green comes to set the back pick. Curry for the win.
Evan to Curry for three.
Curry. Wallace is on him. Got by Rivers. Good if it goes.
The championship isn't just going to be given to the Warriors this year. There are rising stars on other teams that are playing at high levels and are ready to challenge the Warriors. This season could be a very exciting one, and I think we're all excited to see how it turns out. This concludes today's sports news.
Thanks, Joe. In other news, the U.S. has announced plans to withdraw from the 144-year-old postal treaty. This treaty sets lower international rates for packages from certain countries, and China is stated to have unfairly low prices set. Officials are in hopes that the notice of withdrawal would set the stage for a better deal in order to make sure that the discount doesn't continue to put American businesses at risk. So far, foreign packages cost the U.S. about $300 million a year. So Trump is proposing to allow countries to set their own rates for only parcels under 2 kilograms. But with the online clothes shopping craze, smaller packages are becoming more popular than oversized packages. So the U.S. will still overall be taking the disadvantage. The process of withdrawing from the treaty takes at least a year, and the White House said it would be willing to remain in the treaty if negotiations were successful. Now, let's take a look at Sacramento's traffic. Over to you, Jack.
It's Jack Taylor back with the traffic report for Sacramento. There's an accident on the I-80 West towards San Francisco ramp that will delay traffic for about 30 minutes. The Highway 50 East towards Tahoe is also backed up due to high tourist attraction at the moment. Make sure to drive safely when going to your destination. Thank you, and that wraps the traffic report for Sacramento. Have a good
Thanks,
day.
Jack. Speaking of wrapping up,
What?
America's most notorious rapper, Kanye West, met with President Trump on Thursday to discuss issues such as prison reform. West has been a longtime supporter of Trump and made it apparent at his rally right before inauguration. His wife, Kim Kardashian, also met with Trump to discuss the same issue of prison reforms and helped free Alice Johnson, who was a prisoner and got released.
Kanye has made a lot of headlines in the media lately, and it's not for his music.
I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Kanye.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You
more
ain't
than
got-
me? Come on.
Speaking of entertainment, let's go to Joe, who has the latest on entertainment.
Hi, my name is Joe Mallock, and today I'm going to be giving you the latest in music. Last night, 3 albums were dropped by major artists. Juice WRLD and Future dropped a collab album called World on Drugs, and this was a very anticipated album by the fans. But Future has been given a lot of backlash recently on social media since the album came out because fans feel he ruined Juice WRLD's part on the album. Lil Yachty also dropped Nothing to Prove, and people are saying that Lil Yachty has become repetitive and is dropping very similar songs to what he has been dropping in the past. Besides that, Lil Yachty has some really good songs on there and some really big name features such as Cardi B, Playboi Carti, Trippie Redd, and Offset. Khalid dropped Sun City, and people are already excited. It is already a very popular album, and Khalid has gotten a lot of praise on his recent work. Alright, back to you, Nick.
On Wednesday, Canada became the first country to legalize recreational marijuana. This industry is expected to have a net worth of around $4 billion. President Trudeau's government announced that it would craft new legislation that would allow people with simple possession to request a pardon. However, there is no timeline of when this will happen. We'd be really happy to announce when this happens.
Very funny, Nick. Speaking of the government, let's go to Jack Taylor, who is on location right now at the Capitol.
Hi, I'm Jack Taylor, and I'm in Sacramento right now at the California State Capitol, preparing for the California gubernatorial election. This election will be held on November 6th, with the race being between Democrat Gavin Newsom and Republican John Cox. This election will actually end Jerry Brown's 4-term run as California governor, being in the first term in the 70s, 80s, and to now, which has a whole 16 years. Gavin Newsom is familiar with the California realm, being San Francisco mayor for about 8 years and is the current lieutenant governor of California. Republican John Cox is an Illinois native who actually ran for president in 2008 and is coming to California now to run for governor. I'm also here now with Dr. Winthorpe, who is currently on a different site, and he's a political analyst who will tell us about the insight of the upcoming election. Now, Doctor, what can you tell us about the things that will go down for these two
Thank you,
candidates?
Jack. For this election, it looks like it will be a closer race than you might think. While California is mostly Democrat, there may be a change in this upcoming election. People all over California are thinking about what could be new with John Cox. So for the race, it looks like things could be neck and neck between both candidates.
Thank you for that, Dr. Winthorpe. Now, what issues are most important for California, and how important is it for citizens to vote in this upcoming election?
The most important issues are our economy, homelessness, and our water resources. People should take these issues into mind when you're voting for their candidate. However, we need as many people as we can to vote in our election. If you are legal age, you have the right to vote, so let your voice be heard. It is very important.
Let's make sure to get everyone on the polls. It's very important to vote, and your voice matters. Thank you, Dr. Winthorpe. Now, back to you, Sarah and Nick.
Thank you so much for tuning in with Basic News Network on Channel 13 at 11 a.m.
Thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow.